I'm very pleased to be here today and very much excited to share with you something that is not really talked much about. And really grateful to Kanthari for giving us a chance to work on new solutions and innovative ideas to work on some of the most pressing issues around the world. I often ask myself, what would I do in a crisis situation? This is my future, because I have muscular dystrophy, and people whose lower body is affected with muscular dystrophy will end up using wheelchair. Let me tell you a little bit about muscular dystrophy. Well, it is a type of genetic disorder which weakens our muscles over time and eventually making us unable to perform a certain task. Back in my home country, Afghanistan, we don't use chairs. Instead, we use carpets. So everybody sits on the ground. So if I want to sit down, I have to lower myself carefully and put one of my hands on my knees, the other one on the ground, and sit. The same thing if I want to get up. I know it looks a little bit dramatic down there, but that's just the tip of an iceberg of our day-to-day life in terms of mobility. Now think about it. In a few years from now, I'm in Afghanistan using wheelchair. And one of the Taliban walks right up to me and points a gun right at my face. I would feel helpless and pretty terrified. Now, we, the disabled, face this type of situation in all sorts of crises. But luckily, we don't have disabled in Afghanistan. Yeah, that's true. Thanks to the media for removing us. They don't even talk about us as if we have never existed. Around the world, we are only in statistics. There are more than 1 billion disabled around the world. This is a huge number. We are talking about more than 15% of the whole world's population. But these numbers become invisible in crisis. On top of that, when people see our disability, they try to treat us with all superstitions and traditional means. This is funny because at one point, my own relatives, they took me to a cemetery late at night so that the spirits of my ancestors could cure me. They scared the hell out of me because I was just a child. But my question is that really what we need? No, we don't. Do spirits help in crisis? No, they don't. The bigger problem that we face is not represented well, which is the inability to cope in all sorts of crises. Last year, in July, in Japan, 14 disabled in a nursing home drowned in floods. This year, again in July, 12 other disabled in Germany, they drowned in floods because they were not evacuated in time. Be it social stigma or calamities, I believe the only way out of this is to improve the quality of life. Just because we are disabled, it might seem that we need charity, alms, and pensions. But what we really need is to be safe when things get challenging. We need to survive like everybody else. That means we have to have communication skills to be fiery and to negotiate with our opponents or enemies in man-made crises. We have to have confidence to help ourselves. We need to have mobility and orientation skills that can help us to find refuge. Therefore, I would like to introduce you to Stretch More, a mobile empowerment parkour, where we try to solve these problems. Why Stretch More? Well, in my dictionary, Stretch More means to lead in crisis, to break through barriers to to work hard and to be where you want to be. There are times that we simply need to push ourselves forward to survive in critical situations and to realize our dreams. If you stretch more, you can be elastic and flexible, both mentally and physically. The word stretch for us stands for strengthen, train, reach, and expand together to catalyze harmony. In order to empower the disabled, we are going to focus on intense training in 3 major areas. Number 1, survival skills. Well, this is the main focus of Stretch More. Therefore, we are going to focus on orientation and mobility skills that can help us to survive. And we are going to focus on self-aid and first aid that can help us to survive, actually. And number 2 is to conduct physical and sports activities. This can include swimming, boating, rafting, climbing, hiding, jumping, and riding animals to be safe in the mountains. Well, one might ask that sports are luxury, but for those of us who don't have much opportunity to move around, sports are existentials. This is very critical to us. Last but not least, we are going to focus on entrepreneurship. Well, entrepreneurial skills will give us the financial independence. It restores our dignity, and having our own income means that we can make choices. We can actually take risks. Why not taking risk if we have financial resources like everybody else? So we are going to focus on project planning, creation of business plans, and financial literacy and basics of marketing. Besides, how eye-opening would it be for our parents to see that we contribute to the family income, that we take care of them in their old age, and we support our children to go to school. Therefore, in 5 years from now, I see us, the disabled, not only saving ourselves, but encouraging the non-disabled to do the same. Instead of just being in pictures, statistics, and feeling bad about it, we need to come forward to change the situation. Because we are the largest minority in the world. At Stretch More, we step in to make this dream come true. Yeah, we are a little insane. But hey, this is the only way forward. We need to stretch more. Stretching more is the future, not only for the disabled, but the non-disabled. We need to move, move, and move. Because at the end of the day, we all deserve a life with dignity. I believe a new tomorrow is awaiting us. We must act now and together because the future belongs to all of us. There is a very beautiful poem by one of Persian poets who lived in 13th century. His name is Sadi. He says, Bani Adam a'zai yakdigaran ke dar afarinish z yak gawharan. Human beings are members of a whole in creation of one essence and soul. If one member is afflicted with pain, other members uneasy will remain. If you do not have sympathy with human pain, the name of human you shall not retain. Thank you.